the authentic life. And I have a hat on because I love hats. What do you think?
I didn't know if we were supposed to say if we're live or if we're Memorex, because that's what I remember whenever, hey, is it live or is it Memorex? But that's a long time ago with cassette tapes.
I have nothing.
Cassette tapes. So, all right, here we go.
Speaking of cassette tapes, remember when we used to get those for Christmas gifts?
Absolutely.
Now Christmas gifts are so much more involved. Thank God for that. When you've got a great husband like Rob. No, when you have a friend in the diamond, jewelry, handbag, watch business, you can have great gifts too.
I could be like an uncle, but not a creepy uncle.
No.
Oh, well, this gets past that. The margaritas are already going again. We've got them frozen, so I might have just had to check them out. So here we go. What are we doing?
People talk to us about gift-giving ideas, and I had this idea to do this podcast about the best gift ideas because we had a great young woman come in our store this week. She's getting married, and she bought her husband a watch as their wedding gift.
Yeah, and that's what Donae did for us when we got married.
Yes, and so I gave him a gift, and of course it was the wrong watch. And he was so nice, he kept it for a number of years, and then he said, it's the wrong watch.
I don't really like it. I want to sell it.
So he traded in and traded up and spent a few thousand extra. And basically, we went from what I spent on it to 5X or 6X in value.
5X in January, now probably double. So it was a good deal for both of us.
So anyway, we're going to not promise you.
Let's talk watches.
But podcasts are about talking, Rob.
Oh, I wanted to talk watches because
you will in a minute.
See,
so,
there we go.
Basically, what we're saying is we're not promising that you're going to make a huge amount of money, but we're selling you items that have value. You go shopping for clothes. Now, sometimes you can get money for your clothes, but there's not a lot of things that after you've worn it 10 years, you can get a value for it. Your car, maybe, but a watch, a piece of jewelry, especially branded things, have a value after the fact. So that's kind of the way I justify with our daughter. We even let her trade in and trade up. And we have some young kids even doing it. So now I've even kind of given her this idea of, yes, you can buy a shirt from Target, but if you're going to buy a bag, why not buy a bag that's going to last you for 10 years, or you trade in and trade up. So if you're getting a starter watch for someone for Christmas, what's the starting price range of a luxury watch if you came to the Vintage Contessa in times past?
Starting like a Tag or an Omega is probably $1,000 or $1,500. A Rolex probably for a man is $3,000. A lady's maybe $2,500.
And ladies now are wearing bigger watches, but in general, ladies' watches are a smaller dial.
The average man's watch right now is 36 to 38 millimeters. A traditional woman's watch was 26 millimeters. Now that's moved up. Women are wearing 40 millimeter, and men are wearing, women are wearing 30, 31.
I'm wearing a men's watch
today. You're wearing a 40 millimeter today.
Yep. So, what do you think is one of the hottest watches out right now that you have a lot of people, if they had a pretty high budget, what could they do?
Show them.
Yep.
Steel and gold blue dial, ceramic bezel, Submariner. Fantastic.
Gorgeous. Oh, look, it matches my outfit.
It's like James Bond with a little more bling. This watch is $15,000.
And how does that compare to retail right now?
Retail is irrelevant.
Okay,
you cannot go into a store and find one.
Exactly, that's what I want you to tell people. Store,
oh my God, she's giving me charge. I'm in control. We also have a little older version of this watch that's $11,000. Oh, hey. And
watches coming from the
more watches coming in.
I know, it's crazy.
That's Cartier that she just brought in, and there's a much better price point. Let's segue to Cartier.
We can segue to Cartier. Okay, so entry level.
Hey, Vanna, here we go.
Vanna White, Donae. Yeah.
We'll start at a different price point. So Tank Francais, classic watch, been around 20 years. That watch right there.
What famous people had this one? Was this Jackie O?
No, Jackie O had a different Tank Cartier, but not a Tank Francais. But that's okay. She was dead when they developed this one, but it's all good.
Okay.
This $2,500.
Beautiful watch.
Beautiful watch.
And that is less than retail.
That is less than. Very good. Oh my God, she's learning. Pasha C. That's another great one.
Brown dial. One just stainless steel. Some are in white gold. If it's white gold, it's a lot more expensive.
Right. White gold will have a diamond on the end. on the crown. Stainless steel doesn't. This is a $2,500 watch also.
Less than retail?
Less than retail. This was a special anniversary edition.
Ooh, I like the blue dial.
Roadster with the blue dial.
And you can change out dials on Rolexes, but not as much on Cartier, right?
Correct.
It's not as
Rolex,
often that people do that.
The dial that goes on the watch on Rolex has been the same one for the last 40 years. So you used to be able to buy extra dials and do all that. Now they want you to buy a whole different watch. But we have backstock of hundreds of those dials for changing. Cartier, we don't. But the blue dial is unique, special edition. This is a $4,500 watch, and it's the larger size Roadster. And these
so a man would wear that too.
Right, and these watches also have a quick release band where you can put a leather strap on them or a rubber strap on these. They're fantastic watch.
So a person like me could change the band, or only a person like you?
Watch one more time. Here we go. You're at two. Boom! Look at that.
Oh wow.
Boom.
Some people are listening. They don't know what boom means.
Oh, it's real simple. There's a little button on the back you push, and then you pull down on it, and it comes apart. It's
okay, good. I like that. He's very descriptive.
Emerald Lagasse. Bam! It comes apart. It's real easy.
Okay.
And then here's another smaller edition of the Pasha. That one's great with a special pink dial. That's a $2,200 watch.
I like the pink dial. Donae and I like pink. She has pink hair too.
Yeah, so we have lots of options.
Okay, let's go back to Rolex. Let's talk about the daddy of them all, Rolex.
Okay.
Tell us about other popular watches. So are men still loving Submariners?
They love Submariners. There's also the option in the similar price range. This is a $15,000 watch, a steel and gold GMT. GMT stands for Greenwich Mean Time. That means that watch has pilots used it. It has 2 time zones. You could set it for London time and U.S. time. It's a neat option if you do a lot of traveling. It's an excuse to have a fancy watch.
Cool.
Your iPhone might do that same thing, but we don't want to know that. This is great.
But people really use their watches as jewelry because men don't wear a lot of jewelry in general.
In general, they don't. And a lot of the women we have that we sell watches to, a lot of times they don't even put their watch on and set the time. They just wear it because they like the jewelry. Yeah, Danette's waving her hand. Yeah. Shout out to Alma. Alma wore a watch, worked here 25 years. The time or date was never correct. It's just, she goes, baby, I can't see it anyways. I just want to wear it. I said, okay. But this is great. Platinum and steel Yachtmaster. Very, very cool watch.
Does that mean you get a yacht with it?
It was made for boating. It's
okay, that's what I wanted to know.
Water resistant to 150 feet. The dial and the bezel insert are actually platinum.
And when it's a white dial, what is it?
When it's white, it's usually painted.
Really?
That's platinum. That's why it's because it's silver. So that's a $12,000 retail watch. We sell that watch for $10,000.
And I see this one has a card with it. Like, what's the difference between a card, papers? What does that mean for a watch?
Card came out about 12 years ago. Before that was papers always before. This just comes when you originally buy the watch. And it adds value on men's sports watches. It doesn't really add much value on ladies' watches. And especially collectible early Daytonas and early Submariners and GMTs. It really makes a big difference in price. It can make a difference of a watch being $10,000 and $20,000.
Ooh. And something that you told me in prior conversations about watches is sometimes they're even more valuable if they never had the dial changed or they've never been worked on or not been repaired in a certain way. It's kind of like
old furniture. If it's original, it's only original once. Once you polish it and fix it all up and change out parts and do this and that, it's not original again. So early vintage watches that are all original still are way more valuable than if they've been to service centers because we know the difference on a dial that was made in 1970 versus a dial that was made in 1990, a replacement for it, even though it's made by Rolex. Something says low battery. Are we okay?
That's all right.
And
that would be my phone. I've used it a lot today.
So we know the difference.
Living authentically.
We know the difference on original parts, original replacement parts, and aftermarket parts. It's a whole tricky world.
Okay, so how often should you have your watch repaired / serviced?
Every 3 years, maybe 5 years if you don't use it a lot. But don't do like one of our good friends did. He rented a jackhammer to remove concrete in his backyard of a house they were remodeling. And he wore his watch. And he brought it to me. Every screw in the inside of the watch had come apart and had been working and beaten up. I took it to my watchmaker. He looked, he goes, It is garbage because it was nothing repairable because he spent 2 hours just doing this, and it just destroyed it.
Pay someone to jackhammer in your yard. Don't do it
There's a
yourself.
chance that might have been a friend of mine, Hugh, but we won't mention his name.
We won't mention Hugh Pierce.
Okay, so back up to Rolex, what you skipped earlier, because I think that's really big.
Tell
as far
us.
as that's our world, we understand a lot of people don't. Why does retail not matter? Why can you not walk into the store with your checkbook and get any Rolex you want? How does it actually work?
Right now in Rolex stores, a lot of the stores have what they call exhibition-only watches. You can look at the watch.
Hermes
You can look at the
does
watch
that.
and you can try it on,
Yeah.
but you can't buy it. But you can get on a list, and then they're not only Rolex dealers, they're jewelers and other things. So they want you to buy other merchandise and pay to play to get on the list to be able to get the watches, which is just
Let's look at
insanity.
Birkins and Kelly bags, because that's another place.
Go try to buy a Bronco, a new Bronco. Go try to buy a Range Rover. Try to buy try to buy a G-Wagon Mercedes. Try to buy any car right now almost. There's a list. A Toyota pickup trucks bring 10,000 over retail. It's crazy because there's just no supply. But back to Rolexes, because it's all about me, you know that. So this is an Explorer 2. This is 41 millimeters. These are trading. We sell this watch for $9,000, which is right at retail, pre-owned, but great watch with card, box papers, everything. Beautiful, beautiful watch.
Oh, bummer. It's paused due to a poor connection.
Oh, you're not on Wi-Fi? Oh, you are.
No, I guess I'm not. Hi again. We're pausing. So tell us a little bit about, Danette's going to come over here and fix it.
Got to go to settings.
But
probably,
we're
and get
still
Wi-Fi on.
we're taping.
Oh, we're still taping? Oh, all right.
The podcast, so we don't have to stop now. So I kind of want to switch for a minute and talk about bags, because we were talking about how you can't walk into a store. See that camera right there? It's still recording us.
Oh, that one's recording us. Oh,
yeah,
okay.
Don't stop.
It's like the red light.
Focus.
Like it's the red light in the Brady Bunch when he saw the red light and he couldn't. Okay,
Don't
good.
talk about red lights on podcast.
Okay.
Anyway, you cannot walk into Hermes. Even in Paris, when you see all the bags out there, they won't sell it to you. It's a mystery of how to get a bag. But you can walk into the Vintage Contessa and you can actually hold and see an Hermes Kelly bag and an Hermes Birkin bag.
Right. We'll let you touch it. We'll even let you Instagram it if you want.
We do.
We let you put it on the gram.
So let's talk about size, because size matters when it comes to watches. I mean, people are really interested in the bigger sizes. But interesting with bags now, people are more interested in the smaller size bags than they are the bigger size bags. Whereas with watches, the bigger size watches are popular and the smaller size watches are less popular.
Correct.
What's up with that?
In Birkin bags, it's crazy. The 30 centimeter is probably the most popular size right now.
That's this one.
Whereas,
which is more of a daytime, ladies who lunch, and into evening, but it would be hard to go on a plane and put all your water bottles and everything in here and make it work.
True.
I find. This is what I carry every day, a 35 centimeter.
And it's full.
And it is full. So tell us about hardware. Is there a hardware that more people ask about?
Ah, very good question. In the old days,
The hardware is this, the clasps.
everyone wanted the silver or the palladium hardware. Now, in the last 5 years on up, everybody wants gold hardware.
So interesting. Not everybody, but sometimes it depends upon what it is.
I bet it's 80% of the people lately have asked for gold.
And leathers change. Some leathers are softer. This is Ardennes, so it's a little bit more structured. And that means that on the sides, it's going to be a little bit more structured. And this one's interesting. Tell them about this, because it has a horseshoe. What does a horseshoe mean?
A horseshoe means that this was a custom bag. So this one here has the blue inside, the red bag with the white piping. This bag's crazy, crazy cool.
Yeah, and so this one's a little bit softer. These are both stuffed. This is Clemence. You can see a little bit of the graining in the back to it. But we have different colors, different shapes and sizes, and the thing that makes us different from a lot of people is that we actually purchase our inventory instead of a consignment model.
True. Yeah,
And how does
consignment.
that benefit somebody? Why do they care about that?
This is our best answer. People go, well, how do I know your bags are real? I said, well, every bag in here we've written a check for, and we've blessed it with our money, and we try not to make mistakes. And every day, though, someone tries to sell us a bag that's not original. And I can't tell them it's fake. I just tell them we're not interested in buying it because it's crazy out there right now. It's crazy, crazy, crazy. Oh, this is a great little mini
This
Kelly.
is a vintage one.
That's
the
from the
new
probably
Kellys.
1980s.
Yeah, and then this one is a more structured Kelly, whereas this one is softer on the side. So we could walk you through all of that. There's tons of different aspects of our website where you can go through and you can look at the stamps. The stamps have changed throughout the years, but tell them a little bit about the date codes and those things that we utilize.
Yeah, so every Birkin is handmade. One person puts the whole bag together, and his employee number and initials are in the inside of the bag. And then there used to be a circle around a letter, and then it went to a square around a letter, and now it's a blind code with a lot more letters, like a serial number inside the bag. So we can date what year the bag was made and what employee it was that made the bag. We don't know who the employee is. Hermes knows the employee, and you can track down the history of the bag that way to know when it was made and what era it is.
And they have a quota system. You're limited to how many Hermes Birkins and Kellys you can buy a year. And guess what? Vintage Contessa, you can buy as many as you want, right?
Absolutely.
If they bought 12 at our retail price, could they have one free?
We'll discuss that.
Okay, good. Okay, so now we've been hearing that even Chanel is going to be having quotas where you're
Chanel
limited.
Had 4 price increases in the last 18 months.
And now the largest Chanel is almost equitable to the price of a Birkin bag. It's crazy how much that
These
has
are almost
changed.
10 grand.
And when did they create the first double flap Chanel?
I'm thinking February 1955.
The 2.55.
That's just crazy. How did you know that?
I know, we're so clever. You know so much about handbags. Maybe you learned the hard way by buying a lot of them.
Yes.
So
yes.
these also, retail wise, the bigger the bag, the more expensive. Same with Hermes. But on the pre-owned market, sometimes the smaller bags are worth more. Not always.
More so on Hermes than Chanel. Chanel, the
Yes.
bigger bags seem to bring a bigger
Hold their
premium.
value. And so if you bought a bag 10 years ago and didn't wear it a lot, you could make a profit on it.
Oh, as long as you got the right leather, right color. There are some ugly bags they made. Double flaps, I would say 99% of the double flaps from 10 years ago, you could make a profit if you paid retail.
And that's true for almost every brand we sell, right? Like, it's not every Rolex would have gone up in value.
No, but most
or
of the
every Hermes would have gone up in value.
Most of the men's sport watches, yes. Some of the funky quartz watches they made in the Patek Philippe and Rolex made in the 70s and 80s, no, those are ugly and they're going to remain ugly.
So let's talk about the different leathers. There's basically 2 when it comes to Chanel.
Okay.
The lambskin and the caviar. The caviar has more dimples in it.
And the caviar is almost more weatherproof. It's water gets on it, it doesn't scratch as easy. It's to me, I prefer it. Some people like the smooth earthiness of the lambskin, but this is more practical because everyone bangs these around and carries them. I don't carry them any longer. It doesn't work for our relationship when I carry handbags anymore. But
I'll let him carry my handbag.
Yes, I've done it many a time. I've carried a handbag.
Fancy wallet on a chain, but this bag, I remember when we used to buy these, we would pay as little as $1,000, and now they're over $3,000 retail. But this one I think is exceptionally cool because now the whole CC and tons of gold is like 80s revival, and people love it. And then the boy came into being Vogue. What do you think about the boys?
The boys are a nice alternative to the double flap because on the secondary market, they still don't trade for anywhere near the level. We bought a killer white one and a black one of those 2 that we haven't shown yet. We bought some great boy bags. Like as Donae says, I got another boy in my life when she takes one home, and it's really cute. I just kind of smile.
Then the top handle, Gabrielle, they're all great bags, but they're varying in the secondary market as to how much value they hold. So the classic double flap is the safest investment piece to buy.
Same with the Louis Vuitton. If we're buying Louis Vuitton, if you stick with the basics, the consistent bag that everybody liked, the most popular bags, those you'll do better. The runway bags do not hold their value anywhere near as well, or the exotic skins.
So let's talk about the Speedy.
Speedy, old school. This is the same bag she carried in high school a couple decades ago. And they're still popular now, but they retail for a fortune now. These are $1,500 to $2,000. We sell them $400 to $800.
And then this was actually, you're mistaken, my first bag in high school.
Oh, it was a Gucci bag that your father gave you.
Did not have Louis Vuitton. My first Louis Vuitton was a duffel with the bandolier with the strap. This has been a consistent great seller for us. We sell this to people that are 16
to 60.
Yeah, to
70.
80.
80, yeah.
I mean, and men and women.
And the one with the strap seems to work better for people that travel on planes and want to carry it through. But without the strap, trades for 30% less probably. And if you're not carrying it far or putting it on a roller bag and schlepping it through an airport, it's fine. I like them both, and they float in case you drop them in water. Whoa! Oh.
I would have been in trouble there. I must dropped the whole thing.
That would have been my fault, I'm sure. So then we're going to talk about love. Cartier. Cartier love bracelets have been popular since 1972 when some Italian guy helped design them. And Aldo Chiapuzzi.
That's Andrea.
Oh, that's not Andrea Chiapuzzo. That's a friend of ours. But Chiapuzzi, yeah, whatever. I'm married to an Italian. I apologize. No offense to the Italians.
See here, yeah.
So, but then they made the thinner one they came out with 5 or 6 years ago, and those are half the price of the full-size ones. Love bracelets will run anywhere from $4,000 to $6,000. You add diamonds, they can be $7,000, $8,000, $9,000, $10,000. Classic, and you screw them on, they don't come off. It's perfect. It's love.
It is so love.
Oh, you want to talk about the nail?
Very hot, cool, chic.
What's the other name for the nail?
Justin
Clue, but that's okay.
Justin Clue.
Yeah, she calls it Perrier still, but it's all good. She's mine, all mine, guys.
Exactly. And rings also.
And earrings.
Necklaces, earrings. And so, would you say love is more popular or the nail?
Oh, the love by far.
Okay.
By far the love.
But I feel like the nail is really chic.
You like it because you don't have them yet, and it's something that you're asking more for Christmas, and so you can take that little subtle hint.
This whole thing?
Oh, yeah. See, look at that came in the store, and it somehow got on her wrist, and Christmas was around.
Because what do I do?
She trades in, never trades down, only trades up.
I know. And what do people get to do when they come in and shop with us?
You can do the same.
Exactly.
Well, if you need to trade down, you can. When oil got really cheap, I had buddies that traded in their big gold watches and bought steel watches. But God, we need oil between $80 and $100. We need it solid, help our city.
Okay, let's talk about another fabulous brand style that
Van Cleef & Arpels.
Grace Kelly wore it back in the day.
Yep, this is called Vintage.
We're not talking to her dog, but her name is Grace Kelly too.
Vintage Alhambra. This is a 20 motif. These are fantastic necklaces. They come in a 10 motif. They also make a bracelet. They make earrings, stud earrings, 2-earring, 3-angled earring. I mean, they make crazy. We also have a set of cufflinks for men in this. These retail for about $18,000. I'd sell this one for $14,000.
There's some more stuff over there too.
Is there more? Okay.
Yeah. But Van Cleef & Arpels, another brand that it doesn't go for over retail, but some of the items do. Like the turquoise they quit making. It was
this
so
is
popular.
Cute. So this is a mini VCA. This is a great starter necklace to get you started. It's like giving somebody a free Speedy bag, and then later on, then they want the next bag, then they want Chanel, then they want Hermes, and it just makes me happy thinking about it that we've got a client for 20 years.
But I would even love that in my collection because I think it's a great layering piece. So many people are layering the necklaces, like so many different, like I'm doing here.
And then this is the traditional earrings with the mother of pearl, vintage Alhambra. It's a
That's
great
probably
look.
our most requested is mother of pearl.
The white mother of pearl or the black onyx are probably the two best sellers. We get a lot of people asking for the turquoise, but then when they find out it's 3 times the price, and that VCA doesn't even, or Van Cleef doesn't even make the turquoise anymore. At least right now, they're having issues with it because it was when they cut it, it's a poisonous gas that it's emitted, and they're having all kinds of problems with people not living real well. So they stopped making it.
And I don't even know if I sent you this, but they just came out with a re-edition of the Lady Diana. So Diana did actually wear this Dior bag. They called it the Lady Bag. And they have a new one out that's in blue with, I believe...
She was the Princess of Wales?
She was.
Okay, just checking. Okay, good. Just checking all this stuff. I watched The Crown a couple times. I'm trying to learn it all.
Okay, and then the saddles are back. I mean, these
I call it a kidney bag, so she calls it a saddle bag. I call it a kidney bag.
And now they're like belt bags, and they're little baby ones, and they're little big ones, and they have straps with them.
We bought a man's saddlebag today.
Oh, we have a man's in the oblique over here. Let me show you.
Oh my God, I thought oblique was that thing on the side of my ribs where I used to have muscles over there. It's an oblique, isn't it? Okay.
It is.
I think it's a form of a. Don't they make an oblique triangle too in mathematics?
So, I mean, there's a lot of unisex things out there, right?
You brought up sex. Oh my God, I knew it wouldn't. We couldn't go 30 minutes in a podcast without talking about sex.
Blah, blah, blah. Exactly. Okay. But so we tend to sell bags to men and women now.
Women are probably 85% of the business, or 88%.
But European men who feel a little bit more comfortable with their style, more metro, we're seeing more of that. The Louis Vuitton bags. I mean, you carry a Louis Vuitton travel bag sometimes.
I carry one when I go hunting, and my buddies always give me a razzing. And I said, you know what, guys? Handbags help me to be able to take time off to go hunting because I've got a good story where people work hard. Hunting makes my life fulfilled. It's all good. We eat what we kill, blah, blah, blah. But as I'm holding a Dior bag in my hand, this is just perfect.
Okay, so summary. What do you think are the coolest? Somebody comes in, and I can give my opinions too, but somebody comes in, they're like, let's do different price points. $500. What do you think? What would we sell them for $500?
For a woman? A click-clack.
An Hermes scarf.
Hermes scarf.
A small, maybe, Speedy bag. Some of the Louis Vuittons might be in that price range.
We have some small diamond studs that start in that price range. Absolutely.
Oh, wow.
We have some love rings at $700 or $800 to $1,000. Then tennis bracelets at $1,000. Lots of fun goodies in that range.
Yep, and then Chanel, we could probably get you into a Gucci around less than $1,000.
For sure.
Chanel would probably be $1,500 or $2,000.
Louis Vuitton starting at $300 or $400 very easily.
Yep. And then Dior, we probably even have a few of those that are around $1,000, probably a few thousand.
And some YSLs at that price range for sure. YSL starting at around $1,000.
Yeah. And what do you? So a woman who's in her 20s, what do you see a watch for a woman in her 20s?
I think a classic small ladies Rolex is a great, great, great watch. Or any
30s,
of those
20s, 30s.
Any of those Cartiers are great. When women get in their 40s, they sometimes want the gold watch.
Yeah.
And I find more of them buying the medium-size president or the full-size man's president watch. And
because maybe our eyes are going in.
That could be it. I love Audemars if they have a little bigger budget. Audemars, the Royal Oak in stainless steel or in all gold. Fantastic watch. Those can, and I see husbands and wife wearing and sharing certain watches.
I love it. That's a really cool way to do it.
The wife will bring it in when the husband left it out, and she'll be like, can you take out these 5 links? He's out of town, and I'm going to keep it for me to wear for summer. And I'm like, okay, cool, no problem.
And then for summer, or for travel, we're switching the bands out on some of them to the rubber straps.
Yeah, we put
That's a cool
thing.
The
rubber B bands on them because in summer it's so freaking humid and horrible in Houston, but it's home. You can change up the whole look of your watch too. I like it. So come visit us. We've got the margaritas flowing. We have champagne and wine every day too. Prosecco usually. So we have champagne.
But make an appointment because we're trying to be able to take care of you better. And we're doing a lot of virtual appointments too. If you live out of town, we can hook you up that way. But we can give you ideas in different price range. Don't be freaked out and say, I can't buy my wife a Birkin bag this year. And we actually have these little baby pretend ones that are kind of funny for a stocking stuffer. But you'll have to check with us later on that. Okay, guys.
That's
How was that? Did we do all right?
Fantastic.
All right,
Thank you. This was a lot of fun.
Arrivederci.
She's all mine.